So for about the past 2 years, when we've traveled in our van, we've used this toilet, which I gave the design and plans for on YouTube when I first started putting out my van build tutorials. The first thing was I had to solve that problem. How were we going to go to the bathroom in the van? And I designed that composting toilet. So it's been 2 years now, and we've made some massive improvements. And I really think we've come up with a really perfect solution to having a toilet in your van. I think it's practical, and it's much easier to build. And it's much, much easier to maintain. There are some slick little secrets that you're going to see at the end of this video. This new design is a lot better. It's much lighter, and as you can tell, it's a lot smaller. It is lower, and it's the height of a standard toilet. Any of those commercial composting toilets that you would buy, they're going to have a number 1 container that after a while is going to get smelly, and you're going to want to replace it. In our solution, the number 1 container is easy to replace, and in one of the possibilities, it won't absorb any odor at all. Yeah, curious now, aren't you? So you're just going to have to wait till the end of the video, no fair skipping ahead, and you'll see how we accomplish no odor, easy replacement, and a very efficient, low-cost toilet for your van. And it's not just a toilet. You're going to find out it's a whole system, and it's very inexpensive. Any of you who have experience with a composting toilet know that number 1 is a lot stinkier than number 2. That's right, the urine smells a lot worse than the poop. And we have a lot more urine. So it was key to have a container that would be easily replaceable when it got stinky or wouldn't absorb the odors. And I think we've got both of those solutions here. Now, just like I did the first time, I went searching for a container. You know, you walk through Walmart, you go to the 7-Eleven, the Circle K, all these places to look for something that's readily available, and I ended up buying all kinds of containers. And it got down to these containers. So, we've got ourselves an Ocean Spray, a Powerade, Arizona Iced Tea, and Gatorade. And we also got a good old-fashioned canning jar. So this ball mason jar is glass. If we could use this, guess what? I don't think the urine, the odors would get absorbed in this, and this might work really well. But first, let's take a look at these. Notice these tops? They're very similar. Now, the Ocean Spray is kind of the holdout, but if I take the cap off of this Powerade, and I take the cap off Arizona Iced Tea, I can put the Powerade cap on the Arizona Iced Tea because it's exactly the same. Same with Gatorade. Take the cap off the Gatorade, I can move this over here, and it fits. So it's the same size top. So this would be a great container to use, any one of these, because it's the same size screw-on top. So I decided that's going to be one of the solutions, is going to be a Powerade size top. So that's solution number 1. Now, sad to say that this looks like it would fit, but it's the wrong size. This is a little bit bigger. So this was not a solution. Boy, it was close. So the heck with that. Now, we got these 3. We need to use this size top. And if we could use the mason jar top also, that would be awesome. And for a little while there, I was thinking, which one should we use? Should we use the mason jar? It's glass. It would be terrible if it broke. But like my wife told me, the thing is, it's glass. It's not going to absorb the odors, and it's really easy to clean out. Just a little soap and water, rinse it out, and you're good to go again. Then all of a sudden, I thought, why not use both? And that's exactly what we did. Our little design uses both of these. So that way, when you're out and about and you need to replace the container, it's easy to do. They have the generic one of these at dollar stores. These you can get at any gas station. And these sizes have been around for years. And someday, when these beverages are out of fashion, I bet the next beverage will probably use the same size top and thread. So, let me show you what I did to make this work. So you go on Amazon, of course there's going to be links in the description, and you buy yourself this urine collection container. Commonly used at hospitals, or I guess any place where you need to measure the amount of urine that you're outputting. These are perfect. They fit in our design just right. And what you're going to do is you're going to drill a hole in the bottom so that the urine flows through to this container. So let me show you a completed version. This is the completed version. You see the hole in the center? Well, on the other side of that hole, you'll see that we have both threaded tops. We drilled a hole right through the Powerade one, and it has been glued on here with clear Gorilla Glue, which is the construction adhesive. So now, if we have a Powerade bottle, we just take and screw that in the bottom, and that's our urine collection container. Now, if you'd like to use the mason jar, well, that's not a problem because it's already threaded there, so you can use that container if you'd like. Now, I was worried about the weight. The glass container is a little heavier, but that's not a problem either. So let me show you that. So the urine collection container fits in right here, and it slides back and forth, because guess what? Humans are different sizes. You might have to move this back, you might have to move it forward, and you can easily do that with this design. Now let me take the front off. This container, you can slide it all the way out, and it makes it really easy to retrieve that container when it's in the shower of the van. So it's really easy to access. Now you might worry about the weight. Well, you can put all of this liquid right here, and it is not going to fall through. This is rigid enough, it'll hold up really well. Let's take a look at the front. Taking a look at the front, this slides in and out, so it's easy to get to and easy to empty. To empty it, you would just take and unscrew this container, empty it, rinse it out, put it back on, and you'd be good to go again. Now, one of the worries was when you put this in here, how much weight could it handle? Would it fall loose and cause a mess? Well, that's not going to happen. We got a 34-ounce container here, and if I put that in there, it's not going to fall. It's not going to pop through. So it's definitely rigid enough. But you know, I always worry about these things. I want to make sure that once the design is done, it's going to be mess-free. So, awesome solution. If you're worried about the glass, you don't have to use the mason jar. You can use the Powerade container. And by putting both of these on there, you have the choice. And that way, if you're down the road traveling somewhere, maybe this breaks, you can easily stop at a gas station and get a Powerade container or any container that has the same top, and you're good to go. Plus, you know, if this gets a little stinky, it's easy to replace. Checking out the rest of the design, this is just a 5mm piece of plywood, and I put 2 magnets on here and some washers that I glued onto the frame. So if you want it to look nice when somebody comes in and looks at your van, you can block the view of that urine collection container I did not put any sides on it because it just isn't necessary. Then let's take a look at the rest of the construction. You can slide this out, and then at the top here, you see those are those rails that it slides on. And then we have a 5-gallon bucket that was modified, and you'll see in the instructions how it was modified so that it fit, and it slides in and out the front. Also, once you do your thing, you can easily just take this out and dispose of it, just like a baby diaper, and then put another one in. You can easily put the new bag in without having to remove it at all if you want, or if you want to clean everything up, it's easy to take it out. So then the bottom is another 5mm piece of plywood, and there's 2 little pieces right here, and the function of those is just a stop, because as you're driving down the road, it may vibrate, it may move around. Okay, you've got this secure. That's not going to go anywhere because it's screwed in, so that's good, no accidents there. But you don't want to all of a sudden go to use this and discover the bucket slid out the back, which probably won't happen because it's going to be up against the back of your shower area. But those 2 little pieces right there stop any sliding. Plus, you'll see now we basically got a frame, and it's been painted with epoxy paint or urethane paint, so it's very durable, scrubbable, and you can just take the whole thing out and hose it off. Another key thing is, on the first one I designed, I use a wooden seat, which was just silly because it's too heavy. So this time we got a nice lightweight plastic seat. And this whole thing is very light. I'll weigh it and I'll put the weight compared to the original in this video. This is taking a straight look down into the business, as they would say. And you can see we've got a urine collection container here, and then our number 2 poop collector. If you look at regular standard composting toilets, they have this little tiny hole that somehow you've got to poop in. And unless you're a magician or a magical pooper, I don't know how anybody gets in the little tiny hole. Take a look. I'll put in this video what the size of those holes are. It's ridiculous because there's no water to clean the bowl out. So if you want to clean the bowl out, you're going to have to use something to clean it out, and then what do you do with that? If you use toilet paper and clean it out, you got to dispose of that somewhere. So this is a better solution. Look at the size hole I got. It's all going to go in there. And this urine collection container will slide back and forth, so depending on the size and makeup of your body, you can ensure that the urine actually does go in there. And anytime you've got to do a little cleanup, it just goes in this bag, and then you take it out and dispose of it. Now, some people are going to say, you said composting toilet. This is not a composting toilet. You're right. This is an e-toilet. I call it the emergency toilet because we try not to do number 2. We do number 1 a lot, but every once in a while, you just got to go. And then we bag it and get rid of it like a diaper. So this system works for us, and I think it's more efficient than a standard composting toilet. And this is the other part to the system. What you need to do is get yourself another 5-gallon bucket, and you need to get one of these tops. It's called a gamma seal. I'll put a link in the description. It snaps onto the top of the 5-gallon bucket, and it has a screw-on lid. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you've been boondocking for a couple days, and you've collected a few bags of number 2, well, you put number 2 in here, you screw on the top, and it keeps all the odors out of your van. Then when you get someplace appropriate, you can dispose of these just like you dispose of a baby diaper. So easy and efficient, and this seal top is really nice. So check it out, take a look at the description, and don't forget, please subscribe hit that little notification bell, because I'm sure I'm going to have some more innovative videos. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll see my next video.